all you did was worry about the future and did nothing about it. You could be in a far worse situation. No need to worry, mate. Redundancy. Never been through one, never been redundant. Yesterday was supposed to be D-Day to see whether we still get to keep our jobs or it's time to shut up shop. No worries, mate. As scary as the situation may be, for some reason, I am not fazed by this. That's the effect of worrying about what might happen in the future, which can bring on anxiety. Don't worry, be happy. Did you get all that? Now, if you haven't done anything about it, you have all this stuff going on in your brain. For you to actually relax in the pressure situation, you actually have to do more work. Better are you. It's tough. Times are tough. People are tough. Life is tough. It's good to note, good to understand that whatever you do, you're not by yourself. Seek help early. Talk to someone. Find that help early before it's too late.
Real talks, zero edits, just raw conversations on the go. Hot takes, zero breaks. New episodes every week. Subscribe wherever you listen.
Good morning. Let's see what we got on here. Still following, you're still listening, thank you. If I can humbly ask for one favor, if you can like, comment, share or subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Especially the sharing part, because if you feel that it resonates or it might help someone that you know or love, then please do so. And just to let them know that they're not the only ones going through they go through, and there is support out there for them. Even if you're just sending it to them, just to let them know you're thinking of them. Today is Wednesday the 21st of May, and we have driving to work. Probably about 20 minutes from work now, 20-25 minutes, depending how heavy my foot is on the pedal. I want to talk to you about this subject on redundancy. Never been through one, never been redundant. But yesterday was supposedly meant to be D-Day for our work, to see whether we still get to keep our jobs, or it's time to shut up shop. And as scary as the situation may be, whether I'm being too cocky or not cocky enough. But for some reason, I don't know why, I'm not fazed by this. I have a little bit of worry in terms of what if, but if there's one thing if there's one message that I've been hearing thus far this year, and that's the effect of worrying about what might happen in the future. The effect of what might happen in the future, which can bring on anxiety, which can then bring on a whole host of other things. But it starts with the worrying about the future and the negative effects it can have on you if you keep worrying about the future. Now, I think you could be in a far worse situation if all you did was worry about the future and did nothing about it. And then you just let it manifest within you, and sooner or later the pressure or the situation you're in gets too overwhelming that you react a certain way and you do certain things, and I want to take it to negative scenario, negative situation, and a worst case scenario. Because best case scenario, if you worried once about it, then you did something about it then and there, or as soon as possible, and then that was it. You'd reach there. Excuse me. You'd be at the point where there's no need to worry, mate. No worries, mate. Don't worry, be happy. All that. But worst case scenario, you start with the idea of what if. You stay in there, in that idea, and you never do anything about it to counteract what might happen. For example, if I worry that I'm always going to miss my shots in basketball, then I would practice basketball. The anxiety level or the worry level would decrease because I'm doing something about it. Obviously, it might still be there due to the fact that you're human, but I feel the level of worriness or anxiety would decrease because you're still in the moment or in that train of thought, but you're actually on the positive side of it because you're doing something about it. But if you start with the what if and you do nothing with the what if, and come game time in whatever scenario you might be in, you would face that situation or scenario having done nothing about it since the thought came to your mind, and now you have to face the situation. Now you're under pressure. Now you've got the thought. Now you're under pressure, and now you have to think on your feet if that's your way inclined. And now you have to think about how to deal with the situation in the situation, instead of only having to deal with the situation, drawing back on your past workings, drawing back on your past workings in terms of you've done the work, or you've done some work to be able to help you now in this moment of pressure. Did you get all that? And so, if you've done the work, pressure's decreased, or anxiety or worry is decreased, and you may be able to deal with the situation better because you're in a better state of mind. Now, if you haven't done anything about it, and now you're in the situation, not only do you have all this stuff going on in your brain, and now your body has to react in a certain way because you haven't done anything, and your brain your body can't draw on anything or not as much because you haven't done as much work, and now your brain has to make up these ideas and situations for you to get you out of the current situation you're in. Did you get all that? Is that confusing yet? And I mentioned it in another episode where for you to actually relax in the pressure situation, you actually have to do more work. Now, the example or the thing I was talking about in the other episode was for me to actually enjoy my time off, enjoy my leave. I actually had to work harder in terms of setting people up, making sure people in the right space, making sure everyone knew what they were doing in their roles in church. For me to then actually to relax and not worry about who's doing what, when, where, who, why, and all that sort of thing. So now for me to excel in this pressure situation, I have to put myself under pressure in terms of getting work done, which means I have to get extra work done. Put myself in the situation of being able to do more work to help me when the pressure is on. I just had a thought that I was talking about redundancy, and now I'm talking about, hopefully it all comes together. And so, better are you if you have done some work prior to you facing the pressure situation. It's also a good thing to know or to be aware of that whatever situation you are going through, whatever situation you are facing, the skills, the mentality, And the things that you learn in there are transferable skills. And the more, and I think I did talk about it, I like to call these situations controllable situations, controllable pressure situations, because you are putting yourself under the pressure to get work done before the pressure comes. Then when you're in the moment, when pressure is there, that was out of your control, if it was a game or life, because life happens. Because you're accustomed to this pressure situation, when the actual pressure reveals itself, you will be able to call on your past pressure situations to be able to help you through this current one. And so, redundancy. Can I bring this back to redundancy? I haven't been through one. I've heard of people be redundant or have to take redundancy. My wife's had one. My wife's been made redundant in a previous job. And so, because I haven't been through one, I don't know how to act. I don't know what to do. But I had feelings. It was making me feel a certain way. Even though I haven't been through one, it was making me feel a certain way. And think a certain way. And all I could do was, whilst in this moment of feeling and thought, was compare it as much as possible to something I may have thought or felt in my past. And so then I draw on those situations and try to manage it as best as possible, so that I don't lose my sanity, so that I don't go crazy. Because, man, losing your job, your main source of income, it's tough. Times are tough. People are tough. The life is tough. And so I'm trying to deal with this situation as best as possible, the best way I know how. And part of it is having good support at home, in the family, in your spiritual life, in your spiritual walk, because now all these things will come into play, and all these things you will have to draw on, because you haven't had or been through this sort of things before. I say all these because there's good and bad things about being under pressure, and depending on your viewpoint on these pressure things will determine how you react and how you will move forward in your pressure moments. It's good to note and good to understand that whatever you do, you're not by yourself. Handle or go through it as much as you can, but also seek help early. Would it be through your prayer and ask of God, or if you have to talk to someone, find that help early before it's too late. Like, subscribe, comment, subscribe, share. If it's anything, it's share, because you never know what sort of help it may be to someone else when you share certain things. I get it a lot when people share to their own pages, their own platforms, and because I follow people on their platforms, I see content, and had it not been that share part, I wouldn't have seen the messages or the help. Pray for you and your situations, and that you have a blessed day. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe, and see you on the next episode. Okay, bye.